Good morning, Scotland. Good morning, social media land. I hope you are well. It is Tuesday, the 21st of January, 2025. Politics likes to think it has become the vehicle for Scotland's independence movement, yet in its current state, it's also one of the greatest challenges the movement must overcome. The independence cause is larger than politics. It's about the future of a nation, not the success or failure of any single political entity. To achieve independence, we must recognise that politics is a tool, not the goal itself. While debates and rivalries are inherent in political systems, we cannot allow them to overshadow the unity needed to deliver a pro-Scottish Holyrood and ultimately independence. The political dynamics of Holyrood reveal just how challenging this will be. The SNP, Alba and Greens all claim to be champions of independence, but the relationships are often marked by division rather than collaboration. These rivalries, while natural, frequently spill beyond the policy debates in Holyrood and into the wider independence movement. Online hostility between party supporters deepens these divides, creating the impression of a fractured movement. This infighting damages credibility and alienates undecided voters who see division where there should be solidarity. And let's be honest, a fractured movement gives unionist parties and media the perfect ammunition to argue that Scotland is not ready for independence. This perception is a real threat and it must be addressed if we're allowed to move forward. Politics, while essential, must not overshadow the goal of independence. It's merely a tool to achieve Scotland's right to self-determination. This tool is often manipulated by unionist media which thrives on exploiting division. When parties within the movement prioritise rivalry over collaboration, they inadvertently strengthen the unionist narratives and weaken the case for independence. The movement must rise above these dynamics and focus on the bigger picture, uniting Scotland behind the idea that decisions about Scotland should be made in Scotland. Political parties debate policy, but when it comes to independence, they must present a united front to inspire confidence in the electorate. Achieving a pro-Scottish Holyrood is essential to advancing the independence cause. This means filling Holyrood with representatives who prioritise Scotland's interests over Westminster's directives. But let's be clear, this is not an easy task. The current electoral system and entrenched party loyalties make it difficult to achieve a united pro-Scottish majority. The SNP's dominance in the constituency often limits its ability to secure regional list seats, leaving space for unionist parties to gain representation. To overcome this, grassroots movements must rise above party loyalties and consider tactical voting to maximise the pro-Scottish representation. I would love to see an unspoken understanding where the SNP might withdraw list candidates to allow other pro-Scottish parties to gain seats. While this is truly unlikely due to political rules and rivalries, it reveals a deeper truth. And that truth is, grassroots efforts hold the power to influence outcomes in a way that party politics cannot. By mobilising voters and focusing on the shared goal of independence, the grassroots, people like you and me, can lead the way in creating a pro-Scottish Holyrood that truly reflects the will of the people. The independence movement must also recognise that it's more than the sum of political entities. Yes, there is mistrust and division among smaller political and non-political groups, but the movement remains united by one primary goal, and that is independence. Although sometimes I wonder with the infighting and bickering if some of us have actually forgotten that. Differences in strategy or leadership should not obscure the shared vision of a Scotland free to make its own decisions. With the right message, one that emphasises unity and a clear path forward, we can build a substantial pro-independence majority within the electorate. This is key to securing a pro-Scottish Holyrood and advancing the first pillar of independence, which is a competent and broad-based Scottish government that is based in Scotland, by Scottish people, for Scottish people. Scotland's future depends on the ability of its people to rise above political divisions and focus on the shared goal of self-determination. Politics is a tool, but the movement must not be defined by it. A united front built on the foundations of grassroots action and collaboration can inspire confidence in Scotland's ability to govern itself, inspiring undecided voters and bringing back those disillusioned independence voters. The question is not if political parties can overcome their rivalries. It's whether the people of Scotland can lead the way, using mechanisms available to them to create the Holyrood they deserve. The additional member system is a tool to secure this first pillar, a strong, competent political framework for Scotland, built on the understanding that decisions about Scotland are best made here by those who understand its people's needs. Independence is not about party rivalries. It's about Scotland. Whenever we see these disputes, whenever we see these rivalries, these let's stick a spoon in and stir it up sort of attitudes, I ask myself again, what is the point in that? That doesn't take our cause forward. See, when we focus on that shared goal, there's nothing that we cannot achieve. Together, we can deliver the Holyrood that represents the best of Scotland, both in government and opposition, and take the next step forward to self-determination, the next step forward to gain our independence. Will we allow politics to divide us, or will we rise above it to secure Scotland's future? I could write scripts all day that says we need to rise above politics and we need to work together and all that stuff. But see, if people don't get past themselves, get over themselves and think, wait a minute, politics is just a tool. Nothing's going to change. Politics has to work within a framework, within the laws and constraints of politics. And that makes it very difficult for them to push constitutional boundaries. I feel that if we deliver an SNP government, doesn't matter if you like their policies, okay? And if we deliver a pro-Scottish opposition made up of Alba, the Greens, ISP, or anybody else that is an individual that is pro-Scottish, then we can show the whole of Scotland initially, and then the world, look, our little devolved parliament is pro-Scottish. It is an independent parliament. But it's not, because it's devolved. We want our independence. Can you not clearly see that? This is what a plebiscite is. We can have all of the political entities in Scotland, the pro-Scottish ones saying, no, we're not going to use this as a de facto. De facto is the wrong word to use. Plebiscite is the legal term, and it means to bring on constitutional change by the means of a legal ballot box event. Now, the ideal ballot box event would be a referendum, but we know that Westminster are absolutely pooping their pants over anything like that because they would lose that referendum. So when we have come up against a roadblock from the senior political entity of Westminster who decide whether or not we can scratch our bums or not, and also when we come up against our own local devolved parliament saying, no, we're not going to do that, we have the right to turn around and say, we are voting this way because it doesn't matter about what their policies are. We don't even need to say it aloud. All we need to do is turn around and vote for a pro-Scottish government and vote for a pro-Scottish opposition. But you know what? So many of you are going to sit there and wrangle with the both votes SNP and, I don't trust Alba. I don't trust the Greens. Who cares? Who cares? They're just toys. They're just tools there to do the bidding of us. And they can't deliver a proper government in Scotland. They can't deliver proper policies in Scotland until they hold the reins and all the abilities to do policy change without Westminster's interference. So why does it matter if you like them or not? I don't know. Anyway, that was a bit of a rant, wasn't it? Oh, not like me to have a rant, unless you know me. Okay, so tomorrow we'll have another video, and tomorrow's one is about the grassroots movement and how we can make a difference even more with a plebiscite, with voting for Scotland, and why we need to have a pro-Scottish government. Listen, you have a great Tuesday. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.
I can't get no sleep.